But yeah, for probably all sides, because Keros, you were going back out on the road to the
Yes.
shrines, and the others will finish their kind of laps of the garden very likely.
Probably meeting up at some point.
Yeah, and for all sides, it's a fairly peaceful and relaxing day, to be honest, which makes a nice change.
Mm-hmm.
It almost sounds like a vacation.
Keros goes sightseeing. You get to see loads of other shrines, none of them quite as dramatic as the Forgotten Shrine, but still
Things.
nice little looking road signs. Most of them fit. Most of them little small shrines. You know, the only ones kind of comes up to like your waist. But
The ones she's more used to.
yeah, but it's nice though.
Hmm.
As you make a small lap of this section of the island, and of course the others all get to meet up again at a tavern much later in the day.
Oh, those dryads frustrate me so.
You okay, Cadney?
Yeah, I just, met an old friend.
Yes, we ran into a pair of dryad sisters in the garden.
Dryads can have sisters.
Kind of.
Apparently, from what they explained, it was very much like how twins are born, but in the Fey sense of blooming out of flowers at the same time. Something like that.
Reese looks confused. Okay. What about you, Adeline?
Hmm?
How was your day so far?
Pretty good. Yeah, I've been liking it. The garden's really beautiful, and also the young prince is really nice to be around. He knows a lot about the garden.
Wait, you met one of the you met the prince?
Yep,
Hazel nods.
yep, young Lord Kai or Tai. Nah, Tai Kaiwan. Jeez, name him Tai. So close to their last name. But yes, we met him. He's a bit down because of what's happened recently with his little crush, but otherwise, yeah, he really likes the garden. And he's really knowledgeable about it. It's cool to hear him listen, like good things that he knows. I
It's
think
a
him and Hazel got
shame.
along pretty well.
It's a shame we didn't run into the prince ourselves. We've, given the circumstances, not sought him out to answer these questions, but if I'd run into him, I'd have asked about particular plant I had found.
Mm-hmm.
What plant?
It is called the Royal Serpent Vine.
Does Hazel know anything about this plant?
I mean, roll a plant-related check.
No. Damn it.
He doesn't have knowledge nature.
She does, but I figured this would be a little bit more specific.
Gardening, which was not enough. Alright.
She's nature. It's just A, not as good, and B,
Also fail.
yeah.
I technically have knowledge nature. I'm just choosing. I have no reason to know what this is.
The only one in the Elm Dance family who would have a chance of knowing would be Hazel. Yeah, it was a bit of a trying moment, but those dryads, they just sort of they stand counter to what I'm trying to do.
Counted to you?
Yeah. They're not evil or anything, hardly. It's just they have very different viewpoints about what Fae should be doing in the material world.
If I remember, they don't really trust people.
At all, no. And they don't. And not only do they not trust people, is they don't really trust other Fae or spirits. They don't believe that they should be able to work alongside to achieve goals. They think that since things have always hidden, they should always continue to be hiding. Even that was the case in the first world, and why wouldn't it be the case here? The reason why it's not the case here is because it's much harder to hide here. And, well, if you. Well, as much as a Maya demonstrates things that are strange and foreign and potentially dangerous to the first second-born's families, they tend to get very defensive very quickly, and it's very hard for our Fae who don't understand that standpoint to justify being around. And so they're often chased off or hurt or killed. And that's a very permanent here. So many Fae just tend not to engage. I don't believe that should be the case. Um, as much as many Fae believe the Secondborn to be irrational, I believe that they can be reasoned with.
The Fae?
No, the Secondborn.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
been very
I'd say most of us can be reasoned with, at least when it comes to most things.
Yes, but you say that, but then other times it's many things don't get a chance to reason with you.
People tend to fear things they don't understand.
Yeah, I understand that sentiment, and many of the Secondborn carry that. That's why it's very difficult for Faye to actually get the conversation started with. The
I
reason why
suppose it does not help that your kind have a unfortunate or possibly earned reputation of fooling or enthralling people.
all in good nature, but well, mostly in good nature. People are returned, but many Fae don't understand why it would be a problem to just put them back where they were, and not understanding the fact that many, many seasons have passed since they were. It's a problem, yes, but I'm not. They, those dryads, why they're so difficult is they can bring up the points that make it what I'm trying to accomplish very difficult. As they, I don't have very many good answers for them. As they see the other side of the coin from what I'm trying to do. The humans cut down their tree for reasons that they don't understand and I don't understand, but I would want to believe the Secondborn have a reason to do so, or be lied to into doing so. I can't see a reason why they would, and that is frustrating. I Getting the understanding between us is difficult. I know Amaya, you have spent many times exasperated at trying to understand why I say things.
Yes, I do have a difficult time understanding you.
Yeah, it's it even happens here. Even if pristine as it is there are moments where the languages don't seem to solve what is misplaced. It doesn't help that things are out there that are trying to misconstrue things.
Mm,
And now that there's this hostile disposition between the Secondborn and the Fae are willing to wait as long as it takes for the Secondborn to come say sorry or uh, start the conversation, but the Secondborn will never do so because they don't know how to find them and will likely die before they realize that they should, because you have very short lifespans and Fae will wait for
short
many,
lifespans
many
and
years.
short memories. Most
So
people wouldn't even remember something that some wrong they may have committed or was committed to them as I'm sure as be a short time to you 100 winters ago.
yeah,
Except for dwarves. Dwarves remember everything.
yeah, I haven't met very many dwarves, but I'm very interested. Uh, Something else to note is that something I've gathered is uh, between the generations of the Secondborn, what once was a silent treatment by the Fae can taken into be a curse as the generations pass. Say a spirit of the harvest was slighted and decided to give a family a silent treatment for a short amount of time in its eyes. 10 generations of a family may pass and they think they may be cursed by some dark force when the Fae just simply wants them to apologize. It doesn't help the fact that you guys can't, you know, directly feel emotions coming off others.
Hmm.
It, you all, sure, you all are very confused why I always take sadness when fighting people. It's because I always sense their fear and ambition and want to success, and I get it, but It's just sad that their ambitions are so counter to ours, and that I can't find a way of bringing both sides to resolution in that amount of time. But with those dryads, I just... Oh, they drive me up a wall because I can't give them an answer that I'm happy with. And they always put a big damper on, I guess, faith that I can actually achieve what I'm trying to achieve.
Meanwhile, your friend's sister is rather annoying in her advances.
I mean, you are very cute.
I'm just going to take the compliment.
Good idea.
I don't know. Academy takes the wizard's hat that she sort of stole and put it on a table. I will also say that there is something that is choking this island. It was populated before, but now it's saturated, I guess.
What about you, Adeline? Reese? Have you found anything interesting in the gardens?
Nothing much about that other than the plants, so.
Well, I wasn't particularly asking about troubles or anything, just anything interesting.
Yeah. Again, plants.
I found something Adeline wouldn't like.
Oh, right, yes. No, not. Hey, Aspen's already been dealing with that as well. So, no thanks.
It was this shiny, bright red beetle.
No.
Bright
It was
red
pretty.
beetle.
Mm-hmm. I
Well,
thought it was a piece of broken glass first because it was all shiny.
Big chubby spider gives skin. Aspen holds up an exoskeleton of a spider.
I'm going to guess it's not a fire beetle.
Don't think so. Didn't look like one.
Big jump punch. He walks the exoskeleton across the table towards Adeline.
Hey, Aspen, no. Goodbye. I'm going into the trees.
Aspen opens his mouth, making that noise. And then two of his teeth turn into giant fangs, like spidery.
I just found out some poisons.
Oh, Reese. One
Yeah.
thing I found that I think you would be interested in. The garden had a section that had a variety of teas in it. As Amaya will kind of bring up a box that was kind of sitting behind her chair. I grabbed many of the unusual ones.
Did you empty your coin purse?
No,
You sure?
it's not empty.
Is it almost empty?
Only the one I had brought along with me.
Precise.
I have much more coin, do not worry.
I also talked to the prince, Hazel sort of says quietly. He's going to be doing the song tomorrow. He said we could come watch.
All right, yeah.
Well, I could come watch. I don't know if I could maybe convince them to bring other people.
I'm certain they will.
Yeah, I mean, if the entire party wanted to go watch, they even could.
Yeah. Is Kelris here?
Well, Kara should be on her way back, so she might be. It's up to Tinder.
I mean, how far out in the island did they go? How many shrines was there to visit?
I mean, there were quite a few shrines, but you were kind of basically doing a circuit that would lead you back to the town. So
We'd probably arrive back late afternoon then?
yeah,
Which is what I imagine this is having.
yeah, exactly.
Probably sort of shortly walking through the door then.
You're literally walking through the door at this moment.
Convenient timing.
Hi,
Are
Kelrith.
you a wizard?
Oh, she's not a wizard, she's a sorcerer.
True.
Alice does look slightly buff from her day out, primarily because she spent the entire day trekking through a fucking jungle. Yes, she got cleaned up partway through. Yes, she was with a druid the whole time. It's still a jungle.
Druids are not known for cleaning themselves off regularly.
Exactly.
Kelris. We were just recounting tales of our day. Come join us.
Yeah, how'd your day go?
My day went well.
Do anything interesting? Where have you been?
I'm most of the way around the island at this point, I think.
I mean, technically, you were really only on the western side of the island. You never got to the east.
She's allowed to exaggerate.
That's fine.
She spent the entire day hiking through a jungle. She's allowed to exaggerate. But I went up to the holy grounds that was mentioned by what's his name in the other plane. I forget his name. And I met one of the caretakers there. A lovely druidess. Basically spent the night, and then we went around visiting all the old forgotten shrines. Quite nice.
Nice.
Well, that does sound rather pleasant.
Lots of jungle.
So much jungle. Nothing but
You've got
jungle.
you've got some leaves in your points.
Pretty sure I have half the jungle in my hair. She's sort of pulling out more leaves.
And a twig. And a cockroach.
Ugh. That one sort of gets thrown outside.
Flies past Adeline's face.
Aspen snatches it out of the air. We got an invitation to watch the morning song to clear the storm.
Oh, that's great.
I also have another idea. I think we should go, or at least Hazel and I should go. I did get confirmation and did see the cultists following the two sisters of the royal family.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I have a theory.
Mm-hmm.
They're making the mist stronger in the area, and they're trying to usurp the sky, and I think they're going to be trying to choke out many of the sky spirits with this dense fog that they were talking about, or mist. But to do that, they would need to know how to manipulate the fog. So perhaps they're listening and watching how the song goes.
Hmm.
I would maybe, but there's a bit of a problem with that. Song isn't just a song.
I'm aware.
It's also part of the royal family's blood. Like, any of us can sing the song,
Yeah.
but it will not do anything if you're not part of the family.
I mean,
Unfortunately, that would normally be safe.
I to bring it up because this is going to be a huge offence to half the people here probably. Sort of lowers her voice, but there is such a thing as a bastard child.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if this one does. They are quite a common thing amongst nobility.
It's unlikely, but
And
especially considering like most of the family at this point is female, and I don't think and the prince is a bit too young. So
There is the prince's father who could have been the one having a bastard, technically.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't have to be like directly off this branch. It could have been from an uncle or something. They're all the same bloodline.
I hate to bring it
Actually-
up, but things have crossed over before. We never did find and catch that priest that was performing blood magics within the town.
true.
He has a very likely ability to be able to simulate the royal blood, and or utilize it if elected.
Possibly, yeah.
Chances of running into him here are slim, but especially considering they were working with a different organization.
Well, we did learn of a smuggling operation who was bringing people on the island, and he is very tricksy.
Yeah.
I don't like that theory, but it is a running one.
It's
It
possible.
does not sound likely to me.
It may not be likely, but it's not something to just discount through being unlikely. I mean, we've all survived worse odds than that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's something we should definitely look at. I also have an idea for some things. It's slightly off topic, though. If considering Hazel and I were invited to go watch the song being performed directly, I assume we'll probably be close to the royal family. We might be able to talk to them about what's his name? Out of character. What was his name? I can't remember. Yeah,
The
half-elf
halfling
guy.
We don't have a character card for him, at least revealed.
Yeah, I didn't think we did, but I know we got his name.
Yeah.
Doctor something.
Dr. Lethem Wells, apparently.
Dr. Wells. Okay.
Wells, that's it. Yes. You can ask him about Dr. Wells. Take the picture with us and see if they're at least curious about him, about how he's doing or something. Then we can bring up the thing of, oh, he's just kind of trapped on the bear. And maybe they can do something to help get him back.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
I had an idea. I was thinking about possessing Hazel during that moment, so I could keep an eye out for anyone who would be watching.
Okay, sure.
Uh,
That's a good idea.
That is assuming the rest of us are not invited by extension.
Yeah.
that is. But if
I
we're not,
mean,
go anyways.
I mean, Adeline, you tend to know that like typically like there's nothing like you can like you're always technically free to go watch the thing if you know where it's being performed and who's performing it.
Right, yeah.
So since you know, I mean, there's nothing stopping this the party going.
Yeah, so we're all free to go.
It's not like the performances are private. The entire island can hear it.
Mm-hmm. Welcome
So
to Free
usually-
Music Island. Enjoy the
Yeah,
fun.
Yeah, the only difference is to be able to kind of broadcast the song that far and wide. You kind of need generally quite a. There's not that many places in Ireland you can do that from, but that's fine. You generally need a very high up place for it most of the time.
So yeah, we're probably going to be going up pretty high, so be ready for a climb or... for
It's just a long walk upstairs mostly.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
my little friend, but I'm not gonna be able to, continue having fun. She says, sort of talking to a hat. The hat actually kind of moves in response.
Please don't just randomly pick up sentient hats.
No, it's not sentient. It's the spirit. Just,
Oh, right, okay.
the spirit that's with me.
Do you think Essie can make a sentient hat?
Her hats are already sentient.
Yeah. Honestly, her hat's probably already talking to her.
I mean, not that she would ever answer that question directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only just to have fun with us.
Mm,
That being said, though, treating an intelligent pet isn't something entirely unknown. There are many legends of talking swords and shields, for example.
How will the sword talk? It has no face.
I suppose
wait,
the same
I
way
know.
that plants
would do
talk to
that.
Hazel.
Just do this, Academy says as she just talks in everybody's brain.
I mean, yeah, that works too.
Yeah, I know. Things are a bit iffy. I get it. I'll come back. I'll do you a favor. Tonight I'll make sure to take you back to the tower, and then I will leave you with the pew pew thing. This thing, Academy says as she pulls out the big blaster cannon. I know. Okay, yeah, okay. Here, I'll leave you the wand too. Try not to blow anything up. But yeah, I don't know. I suppose I could ask your opinion. Is what I'm doing foolhardy?
Most things we do are foolhardy.
That's not the answer.
I mean, I think it's fine. I think you're doing good here, so...
Well, here, yes, but I also understand that this can't be done everywhere else.
Well, you're doing it where you can. So
Do you
I think
think-
this is probably one of the best things you can do here. Yes.
But do you think Helgus can?
Hmm?
Do you think that Helgus would be able to, coexist with the spirits that are around them?
Probably.
The potential is there, but they are all too taken with their gods.
I mean, even then, they can coexist. It's like animals. It's not gonna be easy, of course, but possible. It's gonna take you a little bit.
It's been taking a little bit, yes, it has. But
Mm-hmm.
I also know how you all feel about it. I mean, I do it a lot. I go and talk to the local spirits around Helgus, and I invite you. And I don't know if you are all busy or you don't want to, but no one's really accompanied me with any of that.
Sorry,
Usually
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah, I'm
busy.
just busy.
And that's my point. I get that you're all busy, and everyone is. I don't think everybody has time for the spirits. I mean, I suppose I could show that there's worth time given, because if you just give someone a year for even a little bit, I'm sure you'll see that it is worthwhile. And or maybe not.
Well, perhaps when we return, assuming there isn't something very important that needs to be done.
Yeah, there's kind of just a lot going on.
Well, there is always a lot going on. Things aren't going to slow down.
Well, yeah, I know.
This is just the speed that the world goes. And if it's busy now, it's going to be busy later.
That's not entirely true.
Well,
Eventually, it's going to slow down in one way or another.
well, no, you might just not perceive as much things going on.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's busy for us specifically right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right. The world is always busy, but we're not always having to deal with that busyness.
Okay. Okay. Okay, I can. But I suppose I can also ask about the Azure Council. Why would there. Are we open to people giving from people from the outside, or is it. I mean, if everything has to have kind of a meaning. I'm curious what we want to do with the Azure Council.
Do you mean we have a purpose?
It's not our purpose.
I think it is. We picked it, or we chose to keep doing it anyway.
Just because we can continue to choose to follow someone else's purpose doesn't mean that it was originally ours.
No,
And we can
but it
find
means that we
purpose
picked
in
it
someone
as ours now.
else's. Yeah. But what happens when we win?
Then we've won, and now we can go on and do our own things.
So this will just end?
There is always darkness to battle, always monsters to face. This will never change so long as our world exists. Personally, I don't think I'll ever be done until I am either dead or just too old to fight.
That's sad.
That is incredibly pessimistic and it is sad.
Yeah, but there's going to be rest periods. Sure, stuff might happen again afterwards, but we'll still be around and ready to help. And if we're not, then we probably have made like preparations for others to do it as well.
I do not see how this is pessimistic or sad. It has made me quite a lot of money, and it has earned my family a home, land,
Well,
honor.
that doesn't necessarily mean it's not pessimistic.
And there's also a weird dichotomy that being able to fight for peace and then also believing in the idea of lead by example.
Well, I don't fight for territory or anything. I do
Yeah,
not fight for political reasons.
but
I
you
only
fight.
I fight monsters and objectively evil people, or people who just simply want to kill me for whatever reason they may have.
Yeah, I know. It's just the world of the Secondborn is so strange. The concept of fighting for peace is very. I don't like it. It doesn't make sense to me. Sure, you can fight for peace and kill the giant monster that was there, but what was the monster's child? It will see humans as a danger and hostile and grow angry and monstrous, much like its old.
Yeah, that's why
And
whenever we're not fighting, we work other ways, like you're doing with the spirits in Helgus.
yes, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Cadme, but I do not have time to hesitate and ponder about the monster's child when the monster is threatening to eat me and people I care about.
Yeah, that's fair.
Either it will eat me or I will eat it. Those are the only two outcomes.
Yeah, and well, that's the kind of the problem is that you say that my plan can work, but then also go with that, which is the exact opposite of my plan.
Well, that's because we say that because not like we don't always have the powers that you do, or that someone like you does, to make use of that peacetime that we've made.
Hmm.
It is not as if I am going into lands uninhabited by people to fight things. Have you ever known me to seek a fight with anything that was not threatening people?
I mean, you kind of punched that person down the riverside quite a lot.
Which person?
You know, kind of old, very nimble though. Orange shirt, shoulder pads.
Do not recall.
I think she's talking about your training.
Oh, him. No, Cadme, that is just practice, exercise. We are. How would I describe this to you? We're not fighting in the sense of wanting to hurt each other for some purpose or goal. There is no hatred between us. We are not competing for resources. We are simply trying to help each other grow stronger.
Yeah, I suppose. You know, but there's only, one reason why you would want to grow stronger in that way. Is to expect more fighting, and that's, you know.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. We're not saying that we want to fight. We're saying that we're the ones who are prepared to fight, so that you can use the peace we make to make sure we don't have to in the future.
Okay.
If we run into a situation where something is not immediately trying to eat us, and you want to try and get the creature to move along its way, then you are free to. But if it jumps at any of us, I will not hesitate.
That's fine. And it's not just creatures, it's also spirits, even the ones you've made. So,
There is only one spirit I know of that I would cut down without hesitation. Granted, that can't happen with a mortal weapon.
well, that depends. But,
Glock's magic is an exception, a rather disturbing one.
Mhm. And it's strangely tormented and warped as the undead are. They are an addition to what the world we inhabit.
Yes. And unfortunately, the spirit I'm talking about rather likes employing them.
They're confused as everyone else. They're just a different kind of communication. I'm sorry. Every time I talk about these dryads, it always sends me into a bit of a spiral.
Hmm.
It happens.
Yeah, it's shaking my uh, faith. It's good to experience this. It points out the flaws in thinking, but it's frustrating at the time. Thank you for listening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and can I make a request of you all?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mornlock isn't to die.
Hmm?
Morlock isn't to die.
I cannot make this promise.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I can't either. There's too much uncertainty whenever the next time we're going to meet with him.
If his fascination with spirits is as deep as he really entails, I think he would appreciate being judged on the level of spirits instead of the judge of the mortal coil.
Probably, but like I said,
With a man
there's
as
way too much
dangerous as
uncertainty in combat like that for us to promise
know.
that.
I
that
know.
man is extremely dangerous to everyone, everything, and has committed more crimes than I ever care to know. I will not hesitate to take his head given the opportunity.
But if he is on the ground and no longer a threat to you, don't finish him off.
A man like that, I don't believe there would ever be a time, so long as he has his limbs and his tongue, that he would still be a threat to everyone.
I mean, to be fair, if he is disabled and we're able to capture him, we should.
If you want me to... If you truly believe in what I'm working towards, you will do your best to keep Moria alive.
I will say we're not going to go that far, but I'm not going to go out of my way to kill him.
That's all I ask.
Okay, because
If
it's
he
different.
falls into combat and is somehow still alive, then fine, I will give you your opportunity, but
you, Amaya.
not without my sword poised above him, ready to finish him the moment I think he is pulling a trick.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I ask. Because I believe that there is one thing that I still have to do with my oath. Is I've given everything I come across a chance to say sorry and find redemption and uh, forgive someone. I have not forgiven Morilock yet, and I want to give him a moment. I give him one chance. Mind you, this is not without punishment.
Personally, I think you're a fool for holding onto that much hope for the man, but
You say beasts and creatures every time I go with my oath and things like that, but it's not exclusive to beasts and creatures. It's everything that I can give the chance. There's no exception. I will be kind and I will want peace for everybody. Everyone deserves some kind of peace, even if they don't believe it themselves. And
meanwhile, I just believe that many of those people who do deserve it have actively thrown that chance away.
not in their eyes. In their eyes, they might be trying to do their best. They might be horribly wrong in some way, but everyone here, every second one I've met, has some form of dream or want or wish or desire that isn't inherently wrong at its core. I don't know what Morilox is, and I want to know. I've never spoken to him, actually. For someone that's been chasing and running and sprinting around the world after each other and always nipping at each other's heels, I've never shared a word with him.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
And the reason I want you to spare him is so I can have a sit down and talk with him. And to give out a punishment that I deem that I think is appropriate. Because if he's going to meddle in the affairs of the spirits, he doesn't deserve to go hide behind his gods. As much as you are loved by all of them. Actually, it's kind of strangely funny that the gods love all of their creations, but people like Amaya exist. So weird, strange. And Amaya doesn't believe in the gods, and she doesn't love everything.
Oh yeah, that's because we're all individuals, even gods.
I originally thought it was foolish for giving you all free will.
Oh yeah, and that's probably why you and the Fae and the gods don't get along too well.
I was never around for the abandonment. I was made far after that.
I know.
But I've embodied some of the secondborn at this point, and I know what that feels like. So
Well, the way I look at it is I can spend my time praying in a temple to the gods and nothing will happen. I give sacrifice to the spirits and something will happen. It is not always good, and it largely depends on which spirit and what I choose to give, but something will happen.
Just because you do not see something happen does not mean something doesn't happen.
And you might be deaf to it at this point or blind to it, but there is the love of and light of the gods to reside within every secondborn.
I do not see or feel it.
I understand that. Not everyone does. Something happened. Oh no! Amaya, you're covered in a red X. No, I'm joking.
Help, I have contracted a terrible case of death.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's even worse. It's Catholicism.
Gasp.
Well, for now, I think we should all just get to resting some before tomorrow. Tomorrow seems like it's going to be a busy day, and the garden was nice, but I want to go relax in the spa.
And we'll end
I
the
need a
session there
bath.
with what's definitely going to be that foreshadowing.
Although I do have one more question. Lucas.
Yeah.
You
Sorry,
know,
I wasn't really paying attention.
I haven't heard much from you these past few days. What have you been up to?
He grins sheepishly. You'll find out.
I know the troubles you can get in around this island, and I'm eager to see what you've got in store.
No. Please don't tell me you have found some pet tiger or something.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Or something.
I just face palms. Air Lease also does the same.
Reese
Hey,
Reese is sniggering. Reese clearly knows what's going on.
I can attest, while a lot of the animals on the island are dangerous, many of them can become really good friends.
Yeah, I was quite surprised I didn't have nearly as much trouble as I thought I would from your description.
Weren't you out with a
Well,
druid?
yeah, if you were with a druid, then yeah, that makes sense. Also,
Not always.
we're
Turns out druids can't climb as well as I thought they could. I kind of left her behind at several points.
also, I'll be honest, we're not in the deep jungle. We're a ways away from the deep jungle here. That's more what I was talking about. That's why I said don't wander too much. The cities and the areas around them are pretty well kept. Things tend to keep away, or they just don't care and they'll just wander in.
Though I did freak someone out, they thought I was a tiger. I'm not sure how, I look nothing like one.
Yeah, even when you live on an island with tigers, some people just don't. Like, it's weird.
I more of look like a golden snow leopard.
Oh, and I may have got you you may be getting souvenirs soon, Lucas. Admit.
Oh no.
You too, Adeline, Karis.
Ooh.
We may have been getting souvenirs.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
Lucas looks over to Reese. Reese is giving the most blankly. No, but I'm completely innocent here. I'm definitely not lying. I'm totally innocent. Yeah. The boys are up to something.
We shall see.
And now I'm terrified and I'm never going to sleep again.
Oh, come on, what can a pair of kids do?
What can possibly go wrong?
They have a pride of big cats ready to pounce on us.
I remind you, one of them has wild empathy.
I know. This is why I went with that.
In addition, one of them might have a bonus to their wild empathy if it's involving felines.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I can escape them.
Oh, don't worry, you're a feline. You'll be joining the army.
Hear that?
I'm okay with this.
And you'll get to pounce on top of a Maya. With claws.
Oh no.
I'm okay with this.
I am never taking off my armor.
I thought the Dryad was going to do that.
No, the Dryad's been recruited to take off the armor.